Dear developers, hello, I want to address you with recommendations, wishes from most of the players. Thank you so much for your hard work and for your desire to make the game better and better. I really like it, very interesting mechanics, strategies and tactics, but there is a huge minus, or rather there are several of them, but everything rests on a couple of moments and the consequences arising from them. After the February update there were problems with energy, and if new players can get it by completing development tasks and some part of the energy is still received for activity tasks, for completing tasks by wolves. But it is much more difficult for players who have already passed this whole thing and are middle level or high level to get energy at times. Due to the lack of energy, the relevance and effectiveness of the players is lost. I think that you have the resources to check the quantity and quality of online on your servers, and 100% I'm sure of it that online has fallen. All because it became very difficult to get energy. Firstly, the changed market, because before the gnome could be updated 10,003 times, and he gave a normal number of cans, which allowed him to spend a long time in the game. Because there is energy, the player is playing. Now, when the dwarf does not have such a quantity, updating and cans of energy, then most of the players just perform daily tasks, and that's it. We are just turning into extras. I understand that everyone wants to eat and the work should be appreciated, but you should not bring everything to the donation, because if the game becomes a donation dump, then most of the players will leave it for other projects. I would also like to point out the boss clan drop. The quality of the chests has deteriorated very much. I'm not talking about the first 3 bosses, I'm talking about, for example, Nightmare 3, from which you can raise a good loot, but it doesn't fall, and 30 energy in rewards is, in my opinion, just a mockery and a spit in the face. Also, the lack of earning diamonds in the game except in events. Not only that, in the tasks of the event, you have increased the number of points to achieve the goal. For example, in the tasks of translating the stardom of players and raising the level, it is very easy to score 10,000 points, as difficult as possible. Because the amount of experience gained at the last stage decreased, and the amount of energy expended increased by entering the stage. Even with a premium subscription, I don't get the amount of experience that would allow me to close this event. In addition, some games have zones where you can get diamonds. For example, in the same raid there is a mine that gives a certain amount of diamonds every day. Here it is only a weekly reward and a small part for daily tasks, which is very small and does not allow players to spend them on energy banks, because everyone is hoarding on the stone with the appeals of heroes. Also, the cut chance to summon legendary heroes and faction leaders is very depressing because it has become even more difficult to knock them out. But that's not all. In addition to the lack of energy, the experience gained and the meager amount of diamonds that we get from the boss clan or for tasks, I wanted to draw your attention to increasing the level of equipment. With the current quality of level up equipment, the task itself to increase this level looks ridiculous, because 99% of things are sold after the first sharpening to 4, and I'm not talking about 10, 20 items that we sharpened, I'm talking about 800, 900, 1000 items that I personally raised myself, and after that I have 10 things of average quality, the rest everything is just for sale. I very much hope that you will hear me and do something about it, because otherwise you will have a very strong outflow of players, and new players who will come after a week of playing will also leave because the explosive growth will end and they will not be able to play comfortably. I would also like to point out the moment of relevance of the heroes. If our players focus on the boss clan, because all raids can be completed by any faction, then on the clan boss, only the Nightmare and Hell factions, together with their leaders, play a decisive role. So I ask you to reconsider all other factions, so that the hero of other factions can also show decent results on the clan boss. I would also like to suggest that you introduce some kind of guild war or some kind of analog, even if it is not an inter-northern war. If you do not want to combine servers into one, then at least inside the server so that guilds can both then to fight. But ideally, of course, I would like to see a war of all guilds of all servers. In addition, a small request in relation to the players from the Ru cluster. I understand that you are too lazy to translate from Russian to English when we write something to you, but at least you use Google Translate to translate your news to us. If you do not take measures to correct those points that I said, then most of the old players and future new players will leave the game, and the project will lose a lot of people. Of course, I would also like to see an application on iOS. Very much. I hope that you will listen to my words and there will be some effect from this, because this is not only my personal opinion, but also the opinions of a huge number of players from at least one region, although it seems to me that other players from other countries of the world will support me very much in this. That's all. Svärad was with you. Thank you for your attention. We wish everyone a benevolent random, a rich drop and a peaceful sky over your head. Good luck.